Introducing a new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It's gonna come out how it come out. You feel me? Yo, none of this is rehearsed. Everything is off the top.
Vulgar. Welcome to the man cave.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome to the man cave, where everything is uncut, unfiltered, raw. All right. So I know y'all seen the main event. We're going to get to that. But before that, we got a couple things to discuss. I'm Vulgar.
I'm Gray Mars.
And I'm Enzo.
All right, we got Easy in the house.
What up?
How's everybody tonight?
Good.
Cool. All right, I'm going to break down. Go ahead and play the first video. While I get to it. It's dealing with have y'all heard about the Carmelo Anthony situation?
It's all
Metcalf.
It's all over the internet, but the first person who actually I saw posted was Jenna from the Morgan Report show, who was on the new party.
Yeah. All right, here's the first one.
Is reported that Austin Met have told the suspect, Carmelo Anthony, that he would need to move out from under his team's tent, considering Anthony is a student at Centennial High School, but he was sitting under Memorial High School's tent. And after telling him this, Anthony opened his bag, reached inside and said, "Touch me and see what happens." BCAF reportedly then touched Anthony, and Anthony then said, "Punch me and see what happens." Soon after, Metcalf grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, at which point Anthony pulled out the weapon and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest before running away. And after officers caught up with Anthony, he immediately told them, "I was protecting myself," and that Metcalf put his hands on him. And while the officer was walking him to his car, he said he had the alleged suspect, to which Anthony responded, "I'm not alleged. I didn't." And while Anthony was in the cop's car, he asked if Metcalf was going to be okay. And then later, as if his actions could be considered self-defense entity, is currently being held in jail, and his bond has been set to $1 million. But rest in peace to Austin. Let me know what you guys think about.
All right. So there you have it. That situation. Who wants to go first?
Well, what I heard, and I don't know if this is true, the father came out and said they were friends, and there's a picture circulate of them like holding weapons, and they was hanging out with each other, but Nora told me they fought over a girl. Is that what happened?
I haven't heard that. I only heard that apparently he was under the wrong tent. And I'm glad you said that because it kind of backs up how I really feel, which I'm going to let everybody get their opinion out before I give how I really feel. But apparently he was under the wrong tent, under the wrong team's tent. And the guy, Austin, was telling him that he needs to move and go on his side. And he, Carmelo basically was like, make me, and, paraphrase, make me. And that's when the altercation started. And he would just like touch me and see what's going to happen when he reached in his bag. So that's all I heard. I haven't heard anything different. I didn't hear anything about a fight over a girl or anything like that, but it doesn't surprise me. Enzo or Easy?
See, I don't know too much into the situation at all either. It just more sounds like a self-defense situation. The guy was under the wrong team's tent. I mean, he pulled the other guy's card and fucked around and found out. It's the easiest way I could explain that. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I realistically see it as just self-defense.
Easy.
Was this a school campus?
Yeah, it was a track meet. Yeah, they're kids, high school kids.
That's what I'm saying. Why you walking around with a shank on campus? You know what I mean? So I don't know, bro. I mean, like, I fully believe you should be able to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because situations do pop off. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a few, so gotta protect yourself. But you walking around with a shank on campus, man, that makes you look kind of suspect. But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, I think it's self defense.
I don't know. I feel like it could have been avoided. It's almost as if he was waiting for something to pop off. And the way that both of them described the situation, even Carmelo, as he was getting in the police car, they alleged that he asked, "Was Austin okay?" Not knowing that he had died. But to me, it seemed like there was ample opportunity for him to walk away, but instead he wanted the conflict. That's going to be where the issue comes in at, is that it seems like it was a lot. Like, he didn't choose to run, he didn't choose to do anything. They literally said he was in his bag with his hand in his bag talking about touch me and find out. So that's, you can't, doing stuff like that, like the self-defense is more so like a last resort. And it don't seem like this was a last resort situation. It seemed like it was a, I'm gonna prove who I am. I hope race wasn't a thing, but you know now how we put each other against each other with race. It could have been something like that. These white boys running up on me, blah blah blah, whatever. I don't think it was self-defense. I think it was a lot of ego. Boys being boys, a lot of testosterone in the situation, and just a lot of weakness. Because when we was in the hood, you fought it out. Even if he was being a bully, you went and faced your bully.
Yeah, and that was the other part
You
because
told him, "Put the
this
gun
guy's
down,
an
son."
identical twin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then him and his brother was running up on him.
You know, just, yeah, he needed his father there, like Pops on Friday.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be so much stuff that come out because I saw the picture. I just tried to look up and find it. I can't find it, but supposedly they knew each other. So pretty sure when it goes to court, it's probably gonna be like more information that comes out.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you where I'm upset though. BLM that showed, then reared their head on this situation.
What they say?
Like, they're trying to make it into a race thing now. They're trying to back them up and say that, you know, on the self-defense thing, you try to make it a racial thing. Even the father had to come out and said he doesn't want it to be a racial thing. He just like, it was boys being boys. But now you're gonna have the media and BLM and all these other organizations that are going to turn it into a race issue, which is
Well,
embarrassing for me.
what I saw was people were upset. The right was upset that he got up like $80,000 from a GoFundMe or something.
Yeah, it was more than,
Oh
it was
yeah,
90 to 150.
the
They
girl just
shut it down.
put it up there.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what they was mad about, right?
Yeah, they end up shutting it down. I guess it goes against the GoFundMe rules. Like, you're not able to raise money for murder cases
Oh
or
wow.
something like that. Yeah, so I know they keep trying to do it, but I don't know. I think a lot of these new boys are just weak. That should have just been an all fist fight. Even if he'd have got whooped on by the twins, it should have just been a fist fight. He had his fight, went home, they all woke up the next day. My biggest reason for even wanting to talk about this is you got so many people saying he effed around and found out all this other stuff. And we can't keep spreading that type of rhetoric. We gotta teach Black people to be more responsible.
So I mean, like, you don't feel like in today's time, like especially with young people, like they shooting. I mean, he stabbed somebody, which is kind of more personal, and like, then you gotta be a little bit more braver because you just can shoot from far away. But like, I feel like in this generation, especially now, like with the right, like everybody has a piece on it.
Yeah. And that's, like I said, last resort. I don't know if y'all ever watched the Bruce Lee movies back in the day. It was one Bruce Lee movie that I always remember. It was a guy on a boat. And he kept asking Bruce Lee, like, how did you get so good at fighting or whatever? And how, basically, can you teach me how to win a fight? And I guess the dude turned around and start to try to paddle off with the boat. And when he looked back, Bruce Lee was on land. So he like, I don't know if it was, I can't remember if the dude was trying to capture him or what, or he escaped or he was trying to fight Bruce Lee. But pretty much once he sailed off, he couldn't get to Bruce Lee. And the whole point of the message was, I'm good because I avoid fights.
Oh yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they say with martial arts that
Yeah.
you're supposed to learn discipline and like that's the last resort. I mean, I've heard that.
Yeah. So that got to be the message. I just see it's all across TikTok and everywhere where they're talking about he was right. The white dude shouldn't have ran up. But it's becoming a race thing, and I hate it deep down.
Well, what I saw was the right people say that if the roles was reversed, people would have been marching. That's what they said.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, if Austin had been a black guy, we wouldn't even be hearing about it. It would have just been black on black crime, and it would have been over with.
Enzo, do you agree with that? If the roles were reversed, do you feel like it would have been like marching?
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
I 100% agree with that. It's an unfortunate situation. I mean, that all really started like with my generation of kids like not being able to get their ass kicked and pick up a gun or pick up a knife or whatever it is. Because like when I was 16, 17 years old, I think I was, me and this kid had bad issues since like middle school. Kids showed up to my house with 7 people. All 7 of them had guns and knives ready to literally kill me. It was crazy. That's just the generation it is nowadays. That no one will just take an ass whooping honorably. They need to go to the next level, and it's disgusting. Take your ass whooping and just move on. Shake hands. That's how I was taught growing up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like with Enzo generation, like you might know like a few. Like when I was coming up, you know, a few people with weapons, but I feel like these young guys, they have a piece on them, and like I think it's the internet. They can get access to anything.
Yep.
100%.
Shit.
I mean, I had a knife when I was in high school. I'm not gonna lie, I used to carry it around with me all the time. Never have I used it. Never even did I even threaten anybody with it. But I always had it because you never knew.
Yeah. It was a last resort.
Literally, like you did not know I had it until I had it.
I'm gonna play a video from this lawyer who she's giving her commentary into what she thinks is going to happen and why it wasn't self-defense.
Some criminal defense attorneys. I've also read statements from some other attorneys on whether this self-defense claim is actually going to uphold in court. And here's what they're saying: that Metcalf was unarmed. That is not good for Anthony. Also saying that Anthony's prior verbal threat that said in the affidavit, saying, touch me and see what happens, that this isn't going to be good because it could be interpreted as provocation. That specifically under Texas law, it reads this: a person who provokes an incident may lose the right to claim self-defense. Criminal defense attorneys also say you can't escalate deadly force just because someone touches you. However, the defense may argue this, that Anthony panicked. He was under a perceived threat, especially if multiple individuals were involved. So his defense attorney may in fact try to argue and prove and must prove that there were multiple aggressors in this case. Here's my take. Anthony faces up to life in prison. If he goes to trial, that could mean a harsher sentence if he doesn't win. I believe that more evidence is going to come out, and I think he is going to take a plea deal that will reduce it down likely to a manslaughter charge, and he will go to jail for 10 to most likely 15 years. What are your thoughts about all of this?
Yeah, you still on the self-defense claim, Enzo?
Until there's more evidence, yeah. Because I mean, like she said, you could prove that there were multiple people there. Who do we know that there wasn't like 3 or 4 guys that walked up with him that were standing off in the distance and that were there? The guy got threatened. You just don't know until the evidence is there. So I mean, I'm kind of gonna stick with the self-defense. Like I get it. Like dude said, yeah, see what happens, and dude saw what happened. That's it's just unfortunate, but you don't know until everything's laid out there.
Easy.
When you provoke somebody, it changes things. So I don't know, man. I mean, he was the only one that had a weapon, so it's not looking good for him.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all. It's a video that was going around not too long ago. It was this guy. I don't know if he was homeless or what, and he was in some restaurant, and it was some guys just like pushing him and hitting on him, and he pulled out like some type of hammer or knife or something, and was just like breaking everything. And I don't know what type of trouble he got into, if he got arrested or not. I just know he tore that place up and walked out. But I don't know. I just thought it was important to talk about because I really deep down hate every time something is black on white, BLM show up and all these other groups show up. And then a lot of people are just afraid to speak out or afraid to literally say, we got to do better. Like I said, deep down, I just feel like he should have walked away. It shouldn't have been no touch me and see, none of that. He should have walked away, but I know these are teenagers. But if he do get his charge, I hope he learned from it. I'm going to go to the next subject. Have y'all been hearing about the claims from black women about why black men aren't going to college?
No.
So I did have a lady that was speaking on it, but there's a guy, and I really like his video, so I'm going to play it and then come back.
Black men are not attending college, and this is a horrendous trend. The number of black men at four-year colleges has plummeted, and at Howard University, there are as many non-black students as there are black men. Howard is just 19% black men. There's an array of reasons why this is happening, but the number one thing sociologists point to is something they call the belief gap, that a lot of young black men don't believe that they can or should be able to handle college intellectually or financially. Guys, college is a critical part of gaining the intellectual skills you need to get into the middle class. Black women have known for years and years that they need degrees to overcome racism and misogyny and get as far as they can in life, and they have become the most educated demographic in the country. But leaving black men out of that trend means a lot of potential wealth that could go into the black community won't go into the black community, because people who could have become middle-class professionals and intellectuals will not be able to make that leap.
So y'all believe this is the true observation, or is this another attack on black men?
I think in general, younger people are just not going to college. It's a big like trend where people are saying that they don't need college anymore. Me and Easy actually met in college. We was getting our master's degree, but both of us was on GI Bill, so it is extremely expensive for someone to go and like go pay for college. So that's why people feel like it's a ripoff. So you go in debt, and then you kind of like in debt, and then you messing up your credit.
Easy.
Nah, honestly, I don't think you need college to be successful. I know a lot of people that didn't even graduate high school and they're super successful. So I don't think college necessarily, um, yes, it can help somebody, but some people don't need college. A lot of people look at college as just like a like debt or something. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into debt when I can just do this, do that, get this cert, or I got this business. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people are shying away from college because they don't want to be in debt. Or they also feel like I don't need this degree to get the job that I'm trying to pursue. So it just depends on the individual. But yeah, I think it is a trend. I think it's going to keep on going because as you can see, a lot of these colleges now, some of them are actually offering free tuition now, but which that's a good thing. But that's another story. But yeah.
Enzo?
So I'm a firm believer in what Charlie Kirk says, that college is a scam, 100%. on the simple fact because you don't really need a college degree to do a lot of these jobs nowadays. I think coming out of high school and being in high school, they should be pushing more trade schools and any certifications, anything like that, other than pushing colleges on people. Because unless you're going to be going to school to become like a doctor or a lawyer or something where you need that degree, where you can come out of school and go into like a law school and go into like medical school where you're working in that said field and making money on it, where you can pay back your debts, it's not worth it. Like a lot of people go into school for degrees. You can't even get a job coming out of school for that job, and it's putting people in debt. It's $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a semester, or even more sometimes, and you're stuck with that for your life. So we should be pushing 100% more trade schools because it's a lot cheaper, and you're guaranteed more or less a job coming out of that. And again, the fact of, I know people that are high school dropouts that are more successful than people in college. Myself, I barely made it through high school myself, and I had a job immediately doing sales since I was 15 years old. Like you really just don't need it nowadays like you did back in the day, regardless of your race or anything.
Yeah. All right, you can chime in on this, Enzo. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a shaming tactic. Like this is coming from Black women in the Black community to men, and it's a whole shaming tactic for a lot of them to avoid accountability, because a lot of Black women are coming under fire right now for being the most single and a lot of other things. So now there's every excuse. Black men aren't eligible. Black men are dumb. Black men aren't going to college. I can't date a guy who's not in college. All this is the things that are going around, but this one right now is catching the internet. And again, I don't like it because I think we all agree you don't need college to be successful. So I don't know why that narrative is being pushed and to shame us, because a lot more Black men are doing way better now than years before. What's y'all take?
Now there are some exceptions, like if you get a scholarship or you get GI Bill from the military and you're not putting yourself in debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there are other avenues where you might need a bachelor's or a master's to get a job in management or something like that. That's the career path that I took. So, some business degrees you do need that degree to get certain positions, especially in management. So, yeah. But like we all agree, man, you don't need a college degree to be successful, man. Like you see it all the time. So
why do you think we're being shamed for it?
Because I think some people don't like change. So if the categories against Black women, they're doing better than Black men. So I guess the Black women are like, damn, man, I'm getting more money, I'm getting more education than you, and y'all ain't doing nothing. So
is that the real truth though? Because you heard what the guy, I don't know if y'all paid attention, the guy basically said women are going to get degrees to avoid misogyny.
Black women are
they feel like they too independent. Yeah.
Well, it's like he's saying basically it's a back signal saying they're going to college to avoid being with men.
Yeah, they're pretty much trying to say that they don't need a man.
Yeah.
A lot of women are like that, but also that puts them in a category. And after this, I'm done my phrase or whatever, my comment. I mean, that puts them in a category where, damn, like you put yourself in this high pedestal, and all these guys are gonna be not want to talk to you because you're making like six figures. A lot of people are not making six figures a year right now.
You became at the end
at the end of this year, it might be less people because it's getting tough right now. So yeah, man, they put them in a category where like not all guys, but some guys don't like talking to a female that's doing like way better than them because it makes them feel kind of weird. So
do you think that's insecurity, or is it that when women get power, somebody that's never had power, they get it to go crazy? When women get power, they're not respectable as a man who would have power?
Well, some guys stand on 10 toes and they don't care, and I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? But some guys they're intimidated, man. Like they don't want to talk to no chick that makes way more money than them.
Nah, but dealing with stuff that ain't standing on 10 toes. I stand on 10 toes too. And if you think you gonna come with your degrees and try to down me, I'm gonna show you the door.
That is standing on 10 toes, but that's my definition. But I got you, bro.
Yeah, Gray.
Black women the most educated group, and that's why they saying that. I don't necessarily know if it's a shame on black men, but women overall, and we can say it's because of the laws like that they passed for women. They have been gaining more traction in the in careers. So Jordan Peterson says because they can listen or whatever. I don't know why, but women are doing better than men financially. I think
No,
that's a
that's
big,
true. What Jordan
yeah,
Peterson, what he was saying, women are more agreeable
yeah.
and women are less likely to go off and steal your idea, start their own corporation. Men are builders. So a lot of these corporations want to cut competition. So they're more likely to deal with a woman because they know with a man, once they train him up, show him everything, he's likely to go out and start his own. And then he becomes the competition.
But what do they say men are supposed to do? Provide and protect. So
Yeah.
like that's what women holding them to, even though the industry or the job market may not be helping men escalate in life, but women aren't going to have an emotional response to say, "Oh, okay, we're going to be empathetic that that the government or whatever is holding you back." So that's the issue.
Yeah. And to me, I feel like a lot of school, I didn't do well in school. I didn't finish high school. I had GED, to be honest with you. I did get an associate's, and it was financial aid reasons that I didn't complete my bachelor's. But when I did have the time, I just didn't want to go back. Like school is just never. I'm hands on. You give me a car, you give me some tools, I can build anything, a house, whatever. But I just was never able to sit down in a class and listen. I'm more so the leader, the thought person, like the create. I'm an SC student. But I do feel like women are doing what they're supposed to do in a sense. They are more workers. They, like Jordan Peterson said, they listen better. They're more agreeable. Men, we should be out creating corporations, especially black men. We should be creating industries within our community. We shouldn't be worried about college. That's why when I hear these women saying that and they're trying to use it as a shaming tactic, I think a lot of it is to avoid their own accountability with all the broken homes and all the failed black kids that are coming up. I just think it's a really good deflection they're using instead of us focusing on them. Oh, let's focus on black men not going to college when we really don't need it. We really just need to start corporations and businesses in our community. I think we're at the lowest level of owning businesses ever.
I will say college does. I'm not gonna say I'm completely anti-college because college will help you and teach you stuff that you like aren't looking for. That you go and then like they teach you stuff. Like so, even like with this, like I did a SWOT analysis, different things to like figure out what is best on YouTube and things like that. That's something I would have never learned. Editing, I learned all of that in college. So like it can help you. I think if you're gonna go to school, you need to learn how to solve problems and maybe not necessarily learn a specific thing because with technology, the industry is just completely changing, especially if you're gonna be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, and you can get that with a mentor. Like I know what a SWOT analysis is. I got that from a mentor. You know what I'm saying? It didn't take me $100,000 to get that. So I guess it's either way. I agree with you that college is a good thing if you can afford it, but if you can't, that can't be the excuse to why people aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Oh, that was the other thing that was being said. Black men aren't enrolling in college because they can't read. That's how this whole thing started and was started going viral. Anton Daniels did a segment on it, but they're claiming that black men read on a third grade level.
Well, supposedly Floyd Mayweather can read, but shout out to Shout out to Easy and James because I never would have graduated if it weren't for them.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't do math at all.
See, I really don't go around bragging about my education, man, because that's not right to do. You wouldn't
Yeah.
even know unless I told you for real. So,
Bro, you just brought up a great point, and I say this all the time. It's an insecurity to me. When people start throwing out their degrees and stuff, it's like an insecurity because the people that I know that really have it and they're like really solid, you won't know unless you go into their house. They be like, hey, come over for dinner one day. You go in, they got MBAs, doctorates, all that on the wall. Like they never really speak on it. So
yeah, like if it's in conversation or something like that, cool. But like you just going around and telling everybody, "Oh, I got this, I got that." That's whack to me, bro.
yeah, in the middle of a conversation,
That's
I'm
my
right because I
nerves.
got the degree, you don't. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
That's trash. Yeah.
I deal with it on live. It's the funniest thing to me. These like kids, these young kids be like, "Oh, I'm in school for this. I'm in school for that," and they think they're like the most educated people in the world because they have a degree. Like one of my favorite ones was, well, this kid's like, obviously, I could tell I'm more educated than you because I have a degree, and I'm like, all right, so what do you have a degree in? He goes, math. Dead silent for like 20 seconds. Everybody on my panel started laughing immediately. And we all said, how good is that math degree doing in a political debate? He goes, well, I don't know. I'm 20 grand in debt right now. And I go, that's my point exactly, dude.
Wow.
It's like, you're so smart.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it's also networking. Like, prime example with me and Easy. I was actually working at a studio when we met, but you had to get up in front of the class and say what you're doing, what your career is. And then he was like, oh, you record? And I gave him like Logic Pro program. And then I said, yeah, bro, come to the studio. I work over here, this, and that. So like you never know how stuff can like go. And then before I worked on this, I was on a different podcast when I was a videographer. And he do recording better than me. So I said, hey, bro, you go do the music. I'll do the videography. So entrepreneurial wise, you also meet other people that's like doing stuff entrepreneurially.
Yeah. Oh yeah, too. Yeah. YouTube. That's another great tool.
True.
Like when it comes to when it comes to spreadsheets, I'm that dude. Like I could do so many formulas on spreadsheets. Guess how I learned how to do spreadsheets?
YouTube.
YouTube. Yep.
I sat in school for that.
Huh.
That's the difference. You did it
Yeah.
on YouTube, and I actually had a class for it in school.
Like there
That's
are literally people like, can you email me that budget spreadsheet you made? Because it does. You just input the numbers, what you make, your expenses. It tell you what to save, everything. And I just wanted to get my money right. This was like 10 years ago, and I just learned how to do it so I can learn how to be smart with my money. But did not go to school for that. Learned it all on YouTube. And then when I was in school, a lot of the stuff that I learned, the past courses, was on YouTube.
YouTube will teach you so much.
So
Yes,
like now the information is out there. There's really no excuse. To be honest with you, I think it's less of a college issue and it's a ethics and it's a ambition issue. A lot of us now don't have the ambition. We feel entitled. We're spoiled, and we think everything should be handed to us, and then get mad. And I know I'm a conservative. I'm gonna say this, but they get mad when the immigrants come over here and buy up the rundown building on your block and turn it into a liquor store or a gas station. A lot of that is just ambition. They came with nothing, but they just had the ambition and you didn't.
Now, some of that college stuff too, I just want to add is it's more about like brotherhood and connections, the sororities and the fraternities and then all that. So a lot of stuff is based on connection rather than just based on reading a book
Yeah.
or learning a lesson or whatever. So
Oh no, I
it's,
give
it's
you that.
different. It's definitely different levels to college. You know what I'm saying?
No, I give you that. I actually had a life-saving moment from one of my homeboys in his fraternity. Like he was able to call somebody in the city I was in, and they like looked out for me. So, no, that definitely is a
That's
strong
what I'm
for
saying,
college.
man. It's not all about reading a book. It's about connections too.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go to the next subject, which is kind of similar. Oh, y'all done?
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Don't be fooled. Now is the time to make money, and a lot of it. A lot of people be scared, and it be extreme fear going around whenever the market is crashing. The stock market lost $3.2 trillion today. It lost $2 trillion on yesterday. Days before, weeks before, it lost $2 trillion in a day. Collectively, at this point, the market has lost over $10 trillion. And this is like going into a Nike store, the Gucci store, the Louis Lou, and they having a 50% off discount. You know how quick you gonna get them new J's that just released? If they going for 200, but now they say you can get them for 100, or PS5, this bullshit that we buy. The latest iPhone come out, and you got a manager discount. Instead of spending 1,000, you get it for 500. You're gonna be quick to buy. But whenever you can buy an asset, something that's gonna help you make money for a discount, you scared, you in fear, you second guessing it. Let me run this by you. Even if you buy and be like, damn, what if I buy and it continue to go down or it don't come back? If the market crashes and never come back, you don't really got to worry about the society as a whole. We might as well just die, because everything will be worthless. You'll be stuck in your damn house. You won't have no job to go to, because I'm pretty sure the company that you work for, whether it's Amazon, Walmart, Nike, it's all tied right back into the stock market. You won't have places to spend your money at. If McDonald's and all these places go under, where the fuck you gonna go buy food from? Where you gonna go work at? Talk to me now. I want you to listen. Where the fuck you gonna go spend the money at? So if you invest the money in the market and quality companies, it's almost guaranteed you gonna make your money back. And if you don't, if the money don't matter anyway, because you ain't gonna have nowhere to spend it. Hey.
Thought that was a pretty good explanation.
Slim, where you at? Every time we got a big topic,
know, right?
You never hear.
You know, Slim was at Dreamville Fest this
Yeah.
weekend, so he. Yeah.
All right, you want to go?
I feel like, yes, that's great advice. If you have the money and you can invest, that's definitely great advice, especially if you go do the research on what is going to go back up and things like that. I just think the struggle for people is having the money that they can invest in it, because people, I mean, it's gambling to a certain degree, because if you go get real estate, it's just a house, or you go buy gold or something, like it's there. So I feel like if you're not like a finance person, you're gonna feel like that's risky, especially like you live in paycheck to paycheck.
Enzo?
So I get where Gray's coming from, that it's a gamble at the end of the day for people that really are not well versed in finances and everything like that. I come from a background where I worked in commodities, trading energy for the longest amount of time. So I know what the market looks like. I look at the trends all the time for oil, natural gas, all of that, and everything going on with the market right now. I'm just seeing dollar signs, to be completely honest. Like I knew this was going to happen because of the last 4 years and how the economy has just been trickling up, and looking at it, how it's just been adjusted for inflation. And it was bound to burst. I didn't think it was going to burst on the level of like the 2008 financial crisis, but it was definitely going to explode in a good way. And I mean, we're seeing that now. And my advice for everybody, it's not financial advice, but take whatever extra money you have, invest it into something, and you 100% will see a return. Like I just threw more money into XRP the other day and a couple of different other cryptocurrencies. So we're just going to see what happens at this point.
Yeah, I think when they hit that 160, what was it, like 162 last night? Yeah, went on ahead and
Yeah,
bought.
it got down pretty low.
Yeah.
I
think it's, you have to bully your money. I was watching another guy recently, and he put it into words for me, but I've always bullied my money. So what I'll do is I'll take a check. Like I might take a whole check. If you have a brokerage account or any type of like a brokerage account or anything like one of the apps, there's usually a reserve. Like you could just put your money in there. Some of them give you like a return, like a savings account. And what I'll do is I'll just,
it does that. It's got like a 3 or 4% APY just on USD, which is just $1.
So what I'll do is I'll just throw it in there on purpose, because what it's doing is actually plugging a hole. A lot of people have bad spending habits. So, and I always say I learned this from child support, but I do that and I try to hold it as much as I can. And the way mine is set up, if I need the money, it transfers like overnight. So if I do it, it's there tomorrow. Like if I need to cover a bill or something like that, and I have it's 25. I raised it now, but for the longest, I've had 25 come out every Friday and go into that account, and I'll let it sit. And I might, every month, I might put 20%. So it'd be like, I guess, $25-$30. And I'll just buy certain stocks there. Like, y'all can do this. To me, that like the check to check thing is a perception, because actually what you're starting to do is you're building an emergency fund, which a lot of us don't have. If you just had the cash sitting there and only invest a percentage of it, if y'all not good at math, you got ChatGPT and YouTube or whatever calculator on your phone. If you don't know how to do the right calculations, you got Chat and YouTube to show you how to find a percentage of your money. But there's no excuse. Another reason why I thought this was important to do tonight. I'm not even trying to entertain tonight. Like, my whole thing is to help the Black community. That's my whole vision here, is to try to get us at some level where we can compete. And now is the time for that. Now, with the market down, stop panicking. Y'all can put away y'all money. If y'all got to give up, trees for a while, some drink, what they call a delayed gratification. You could put up a 6-pack now and buy 100 of them later.
You gotta do what you gotta do to make money.
Easy, you got a lot of XRP. What you think?
Now, I think it's very important to buy the dips, if you can, you know. Right now, honestly, I'm kind of astonished about what's going on right now, because I was not expecting this. There's a lot of stuff going on with the tariffs and all that. It's affecting the market right now. It's kind of overwhelming, for real, to be honest with you. So I'm just taking it all in right now. That's all I got.
I expected it. I expected the dip. And the reason being is everybody's being nice. When I say nice, I'm talking about presidents. All the presidents have been by the playbook. They've been nice, giving away everything. Everybody's been shaming America into feeling bad, and America should carry the world. And I knew Trump coming back. I thought it was going to happen in 2020 if he won, but I knew this time around that it was going to happen. He was going to stand up to the world, and that's what he's doing. And when you stand up, it's like a kid. If you let your kid get away with everything, when they was 2-3 years old, and then now they turn around at 14, and you want to lay down, the iron hand, they're gonna resist. You probably gonna have to almost put them in the hospital for a long time for them to start to listen to you and respect you, because you let them get away so long. So I just knew this was gonna happen. I seen it coming, and I've been preparing for it. But I feel like that authority, these countries are gonna do what they're doing right now, folding. All of them now talking about we really don't want to play. We really don't want to go to war, tariff war.
No, they're backing down. I think multiple countries already have backed down. I think
China is the only one, and China's gonna have to concede too eventually.
Oh, absolutely.
They said they had their biggest drop today.
We're the biggest consumer from China. We put tariffs on them. They're gonna hurt. Their market was down 10% when it opened this morning. I think it's just crazy. 2 weeks ago it was eat the rich, and now the markets are dropping, and now everyone's save the stock market. That's what's just crazy to me about it.
Yeah, it definitely is crazy. What do y'all think about Trump putting a tariff on an island with just penguins?
Hey, you gotta make an example.
Make an example of the penguins?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Penguins from Madagascar, they got their own movies, man. So what about these penguins? Maybe they're gonna go get their own movie deal.
Yep.
You don't want them doing that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to make their movie in the Gulf of America now.
Exactly. No, I know why he did it, though. Because China will move around and start shipping things out of different countries that are not inhabited to get around the tariffs. It's not because they have anything; it's more of a preventative measure.
For sure, we'll definitely have to see what happened. I know y'all was definitely going at it about it this morning. But for me, what I would tell young Americans is like the path to like financial freedom is home ownership. My girl is with me every day. I own my house. She own her house. We both still get to say has a house because the prices like go up. I know people want to like go to the stock market and say, you know, this is the way. And it is. It's great that people are getting into the stock market with these apps now. I use Robinhood. I know people use other things. I think it's a great way and great that the middle class and lower class are able to now invest in America. But you know, when I think about what people who work at a minimum wage or small amounts of money and they paying rent and like the amount that they can invest, how much of a return are they really gonna get? You know, if a person just can invest 50 or whatever, I think to get like a real good return. I'm no financial expert, but I would assume you have to invest thousands of dollars.
It's about 20,000 before you really start seeing any beneficial return, but it's not about the amount, because I actually disagree with the home ownership thing. I think it can be good, but if you do the amount of interest, because most people can't buy. If you could buy a house straight out, great. That's a wealth asset that you have. But if you're doing a mortgage and you can't pay it off in 5 to 8 years, to me, it's not really worth it when you can have an apartment. Because people got on Kevin Samuels about this because he didn't have a house, which is a really smart move. You don't have all the extra bills. You don't have to worry about the roof if it needs to be replaced. And because you got that company that does it for you, and you could be putting up that money. It's not necessarily about it's the habit. That's the what's important. A lot of people, yeah, they'll get a house and own it, but then they still have bad habits. Like they get stuck in the house, and the house is like draining them. This happened with my grandparents. I had to make them sell their house during the recession in '08 because, well, one, they refinanced it, which was the worst thing, and they refinanced it with a balloon mortgage, and it blew up on them. But if you don't have good money habits, to me, a house is not the best investment because it's a lot of responsibility behind it. You're better off with an apartment if you're not a responsible person because they can handle the things for you. But if you are responsible, here's the thing. Yeah, a house is good if you can buy it and or you get a good rate or pay it off quick. But most of the people that had it are going to have good investment habits too. It kind of all comes together. So to tell people like to go with a house and they're irresponsible, it's to me it's just not a good thing. I see so many people suffering mad in their house, the sump pump break or something like that, and they can't afford it. They can't afford the taxes and they get evicted. It's not a good move. Like an eviction is probably a lot better than dealing with taxes and all that other stuff on your house. That's just me.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, with home ownership is a stable investment because, like you said, paying rent. Me, I pay off a loan every month. My girl grandparents came from Italy, bought a house, and that's something she inherited. So, like, who knows what price that they got it from, but it's worth way more now. So it's just like it's land is not going anywhere. That's why they say that land is the like safest investment. Like back in the 60s, 50s, 20s, that's how most Americans became rich. Is that they bought a house for a small amount and now it's worth a lot. That's what we was talking about earlier. It's like these baby boomers bought these houses in San Francisco for $200,000, and now it's worth 1.5 million because of like all the stuff that's happened there. Now all these houses are worth so much money.
Yeah, but a lot of the stuff now in the market is overvalued. So
Yeah.
by investing now may not be the smartest move unless something happened to where the value come down to where it can be worth something. There that you can do passive. There are stocks. I have one of the I had my money invested mostly in a real estate stock that doesn't move much and it pays a really good dividend. It pays, I think the annual dividend is like 6% or something like that it pays out, and it pays quarterly. Like that's the only reason I got it, because it had a high dividend payout. So to me, that's an alternative option for people who are trying to get into investing. But yeah, I mean, a house could be a good thing if you got a family or need land or something like that. But I just don't tell people to jump into it if they don't need it. Just my personal advice.
So you guys are the crypto guys, and Easy, you have really said anything, so I want to ask you guys. So do you feel like crypto is a get rich quick scheme, or do you feel like it's really like something that's gonna like transform the world?
So when it comes to like anything with utility,
Yeah.
100%, it's something that's going to help later down the line. That's going to be the future of currency. When it comes down to like all these fucking like meme coins, like what was that one chick, the Hawk Tuah girl, like that, and like Dogecoin, or like even Trump's coins or any like that. That's all BS. You're never gonna make money off that. You got to get in it at the right time, and you need to get out of it at the right time to make any money. But Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, what are the other ones?
It's a lot of them.
What's
Is
it one?
Solana.
H bar
Yeah,
is one I
stuff
just got
like
into.
that.
Hedera, that's what it's called.
Yeah, like right here, Bitcoin, XRP, Tether, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, BNB, stuff like that. Absolutely, that's the way. Pretty much, that's the way. That's what's gonna be the currency that's gonna take over in the next couple of years. I mean, look at what they're already doing with the government. They're creating a strategic reserve, just strictly based off of cryptocurrencies. That's what our money is going to be backed by one of these days. The way that I'm looking at how they're implementing it, that is 100% what is going to be backed, because we've been backed by oil since we got taken off the gold standard. Look how good that's doing. The dollar's not worth shit anymore. At least when it was backed by gold, it was worth something. I mean, imagine if the dollar was backed by Bitcoin right now. We would all have a shit ton more buying power with a dollar, and that's only at $79,000.
Well, yeah, and that's the reason why I always ask people, because like with Bitcoin specifically, we don't know who made it still. And like it was supposed to be because like countries can't like control the way that it's not a currency though, so countries can't control it. It's independent. So that's what made it like this crazy new technology. So that's why like I asked that about the crypto, because I don't know if you guys remember with the GameStop stock, a lot of people got money off of that, but a lot of people lost money. And I forget they had a specific name for it. I don't remember. I thought it
It was
was a
a pump
meme
and dump.
stock. You know what I'm talking about?
It was
Yeah.
a classic memes or meme stock. It was a pump and dump at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
just got together, inflated the hell out of it, like how what's his name, Jordan Belfort did back in the '90s with Stratton Oakmont, Wolf of Wall Street. Classic pump and dump. Get it hyped up as much as possible. Once you see it's going to hit the peak, take all your money out. Everybody loses. So you literally have to be there to make money. You got to know when that's going to happen.
Yep, or put a limit. Put a limit on your. I did that with Dogecoin, because they did a pump and dump on Dogecoin back in 2017.
Yep.
And I put a limit on it. Yep. A lot of people lost money over that.
I never got into it. I was looking at it. I was like, oh, this is stupid. Because I lost money in Bitcoin in like, I think it was like 2016. So I was like, all right, I'm done with these. I'm done with this. It hit like, I think it was, hit like 10 grand. I was like, that's it. This thing's never going to go any higher.
Yeah. Yep. I'll give an example. So I had a rider the other day ask me to explain what cryptocurrency is, or like Bitcoin, because he just couldn't understand it. And I basically I was like, it's like digital gold. And I told him, like, if you owe this me, we didn't have a phone or really a computer that kept good pictures. So you had printouts of your pictures. I don't think people realize it that are like 40 and above. Most people don't have paper pictures anymore. All your pictures in your phone. So it went from paper pictures to digital pictures, and that's the same thing with money. So that's why they ask, like, why is it a good conversion? I'm like, because history repeats itself, and everything is going from paper to digital, and that's the same thing with money. So that, to me, I'm like, that's why it's a solid investment. You can't really go wrong with crypto. Like you said, the meme coins, that's kind of like child's play, but XRP and the other ones that are becoming utilities, that it's going to happen. Like, it may not be XRP, but somebody, whoever got the best software or best algorithm is going to win out, and
100%.
all currency will be digital, being your hand or your forehead.
Interesting.
You know they try to do that now. They try to put that chip in your hand or your forehead.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. And
Yep.
Enzo, you like the third, fourth Bitcoin sad story that's been on the show. So it's a lot of people that got into Bitcoin or didn't get into Bitcoin, and it was your friend, right, Boger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
he didn't. He said he didn't invest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I just took my money out. I made $1,500. I was like, that's it. This is never going to go any higher. I wish I would have kept it in.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
That's why, like, I don't care what's going on with XRP. I'm not touching it. I'm not even paying attention to it. I don't care. I'm just keep putting money in.
Oh yeah, well, I saw that it just kept going down and down and down. Bitcoin, I got the ones that you have. They send you the notifications. I don't know if that's how y'all is too.
Oh, I turned them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kept getting a notification. I was like, wow, Bitcoin is crashing right now. Like, just kept notifying me over and over and over again.
I kept setting traps for if it go down, because you know I'm working and driving all the time. So I just kept setting. I set it like 180. I was like, if it hit 189, then it went lower. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna do $1.50, and it never got that low. But the $1.61 it hit.
Absolutely.
January, Bitcoin was at 100 grand. Now it's at 79. That's a crazy drop. I mean, XRP wasn't that bad. We got it up to like $3 in January, I think. It was like $3.30, I think it was.
Yeah, XRP, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Hey, we out here telling y'all what to do.
Yeah.
Instead of buying Red Lobster cheddar biscuits.
Well, we're gonna have to keep this video and see if 4 or 5 years from now we all millionaires. So we're gonna see what happens.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. Closing thoughts, man.
All right, you wanna go first?
Yeah, man, this is a good show, very informative. I want to thank Enzo for coming on. Enzo, you a smart dude. Gray, Vulgar, you already know.
For sure. Enzo is officially on the man cave now. What's your closing thoughts?
I can't say thank you enough, guys, for bringing me on. I love being here. I love talking with you guys. I love being on the new party all together. For everybody that's going on with what's going on right now with stocks, with the world, don't freak out. Buy the dip. Thank yourself later. That's it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna piggyback on what everybody else saying. Definitely invest if you have the money. So I mean, obviously, I probably don't think that Trump is doing the right thing, but the stock market always bounces back. I feel like America always bounces back. So I feel like doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, like take advantage of the situation, especially if you're in lower middle class, whoever. Like if you don't know stuff about stocks, go on Chat GPT or just research.
Yep. To go off what Gray said, and the guy in the video that I played, invest. Like he said in the video, if you're afraid of your money falling to zero, it can happen. With everything, there's a risk. But if your money falls to zero in the stock market, we probably won't be around to even suffer that, because the stock market is pretty much us. So that's why it bounces back, because we are resilient as a nation. So trust in yourself, trust in your nation, and put your money to where it can grow. Because when I was 13, a bottle of Sprite was 69 cents. That same bottle of Sprite today is almost $3. And if you would have invested 69 cents in 94, 95, that 69 cents would probably be worth $5 now, $6, and you could buy 2 Sprites. That is why you should be investing your money, not putting it in your mattress or spending it on nonsense, on assets that depreciate. All right. Do the right thing. And don't be distracted by racism out here.
For sure. I'll play that.
Vulgar. I see you switch teams up, man. You got the Falcons t-shirt on, man. Where Kansas City t-shirt at, man?
Oh man, Falcons are my employer for like 10 years.
Oh,
this is my
it's
work
all
shirt.
About the birds. It's all about the birds.
I like my birds, but Chiefs all day.
No, the only birds. The
they paid me for a decade, so I got to show them.
Oh, you an Eagles fan?
Yeah, I'm an Eagles fan.
Oh man,
come on, I live in the Northeast. I gotta be. You think I'm gonna be liking the Giants or the Jets? No.
I'm a Steelers fan.
Okay, I'm a Penguins.
Hopefully, we see y'all again in February.
For sure. All right, guys.
All right.
Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.